So I'm out here at my car outside of work. I work over there, and I've been meaning to make a video about this, and it's on my to-do list. I have a to-do list of things. I basically mark down every single day, like a half hour at a time, everything that I want to do for the day. And I've been doing pretty good at getting those things done in a timely manner and getting most of them done throughout the day. Things obviously pop up, especially at work. Things pop up all day, so it kind of shifts stuff around, but I've done a pretty good job of maintaining a good level of productivity and like focused productivity with that kind of to-do list. The thing that's on my to-do list right now is to meditate on this one job opportunity that I have. It's actually a contract that I already signed, but I've been really back and forth on whether or not it's something I think that I should be doing or want to do right now. It's an organization I feel really passionate about, but every time they give me an assignment or should be thinking about assignments, I just have no motivation to do so. And I have all of these other things that I am really interested and excited in doing. So I'm feeling that like maybe it's just not the right time for me to be involved with this organization. I think if I continue working for them, I'm going to end up doing more damage than I do good, because I won't be able to really commit to it and really do the type of good job that I would hope that I could do. But so I don't want to just jump to that conclusion, and I've been trying to really focus on controlling my decisions a little better. I think you have a tendency to kind of lose your free will and a little bit of your freedom when you allow decisions to be made either by your gut instinct, which a lot of the time is a reaction to what you've eaten and like how you feel throughout the day, and it doesn't allow you to really deeply think about the thing you're trying to decide. And also when you just decide things really quickly, when someone asks you and you say yes or no, I'm really trying to not do that. I'm going to make a video on that actually pretty soon, a system for decisions, because I'm trying to develop my own where I don't answer yes or no right away. I'll tell people that I'll get back to them, and I can go and I can kind of meditate on the idea and put it through a rigorous system of whether or not it's going to be beneficial to me, how much I will be able to contribute and help with that specific product or project or organization or whatever it is. But anyway, I'm basically going to test this out with this decision right now. This is something that I think there are some people that call it thinkating. It's basically meditating, but with a specific focus. I am going to talk to you about how I do that, how my method of doing that works. But first, I am gonna have to find a relatively peaceful place to sit in my car that I can sit in for about an hour or so. And this is not it, because my work is right there, and at any point someone could come out and ask me to do something. Not that they would, but they could. And also it's kind of weird to be, like in the middle of town. So it's kind of weird to be in the middle of town just like sitting in your car for like an hour with your eyes shut and thinking. So here we go. I have no idea where I'm going to drive to right now. I don't really have a plan. I just need to kind of clear my head a little bit before I do this. It's such a weird thing to just like kind of sit by yourself and think. We don't get to do that a lot in today's today's world, and that's kind of why this is important, to sit down and just say like, I'm going to take this time right now to just focus on me and whatever it is that I'm trying to figure out. It's weird when you're driving around looking for somewhere to just kind of park and hang out. You kind of have like memories of all of these places. For me, for a long time, especially because I don't actually live in this town, I work here and I live the next town over. When I was in college over here, I spent a lot of time like sleeping in my car. Like I'd come party at this bar over here and then sleep out in my car in this parking lot. It's just weird to think about. And over there is the Domino's I used to work at. If you're gonna do this, you need to find somewhere that like people that you know aren't just gonna randomly walk by, which is why I didn't want to do this right outside of work, because you really have to be able to commit to just like being completely focused in on your session, and it matters that you stay within the session for as long as possible for the given amount of time. So I'm gonna give myself, honestly it depends how long I'm gonna give myself, because I have to go pick Rachel up at 8 o'clock. Okay, I'm putting way too much thought into this, obviously, but that's me. Ah, squirrel! The ultimate ADHD, like, reaction. Squirrel runs across the road, middle of talking. Ah, squirrel! I just like squirrels, guys. I think they're wonderful little animals. I'm not gonna film the entire time while I'm doing this, but basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna think about the specific thing that I'm gonna meditate on, thinkate on, whatever you want to call it. And for an hour and a half, I'm going to do absolutely nothing but meditate on that idea. So the idea here is that even if I feel like I come to a conclusion, and a lot of times you feel like you come to a conclusion and you take action immediately, the idea with this is that, okay, I'll come to a conclusion, let's say 5 minutes in, I feel like I came to a conclusion. Okay, well, then just sit with it and let some other ideas float into your head, and if it feels right, then start maybe attacking it from some different angles, and then then you're like, okay, yeah, maybe actually I've convinced myself of this now. Okay, well, now it's only been a half hour. Usually you'd make the decision then, and like the whole point is that you're really rigorously sitting with this idea and nothing else. And this only really matters for really important decisions. You could probably do like shorter sessions of this. Like I used to do like 5 to 10 minute sessions of this just to really make me decide what kind of content I wanted to create for the day or whatever. But in this case, this is a huge decision for me. So I'm gonna take the next hour and I'm just gonna think about it, basically. So that thinking session went pretty well. I definitely came to a conclusion after it. Some things to note is it's really hard to sit and stay within your own thoughts and stay on topic for that long, especially that parking lot ended up being a lot more noisy than I expected, which once you learn how to meditate and the more you practice, the better you become at kind of ignoring noises, and not necessarily ignoring them. You have to acknowledge them, because the more you try to ignore them, the less it works, basically. But you acknowledge them and just kind of say, that's a noise, but there was a fire going on while I was doing that, so my brain naturally is curious and wants to like imagine what's going on, but you have to kind of tell yourself, oh, that's happening, yeah, but it's not important. It's not what we're focusing on right now. We're focusing on our breath, and we're focusing on how it feels to be in this body and where we are currently in our life, in our career, and what our place is in our community, in our world, and our relationships. And what all of that means basically just comes down to staying focused on that topic and coming up with a decision. And I think I came up with a decision. It's not a decision that I'm excited about, because any big decision really is tough. The core part of just like the word decision is that you have to choose to do one thing and not another. So that other thing that you're not doing is always going to have to be a loss, basically. But for me, I feel like I know where I'm at right now in life, and I'm starting to become much more self-aware of it, and I hope I can continue to do that. These Thinkation sessions, meditations, thinking sessions, whatever you want to call them, they really help. This is probably like the third really big one that I've done, and I'm trying to be more committed to the things that I come up with in these, because honestly it's like you come up with the answer and then you're like kind of too afraid to commit to that answer. And that's what I've done with the 2 other ones that I come up with. Honestly, come up with something that I feel really strongly about, but it takes a bit of courage to get to that point, and I wasn't willing to take those steps. But with more practice and more discipline, I think I will be. So hopefully this was helpful. I know it's like kind of late, so I'm a little rambly and a little sleepy. However, I think these thinking sessions are super helpful. I would love to hear if you've ever tried anything like this, or if you're going to now. If you want advice on how to meditate, because you kind of need to know how to meditate first, at least to a degree. If you want advice on how to meditate, I will probably have a link in the description down below about that, because it's not hard. It takes a little bit of practice though. It's one of those things, like, you just can't give up on it, basically. I know a lot of people that say like, oh, I just can't do it. I tried it and I can't do it. You got to keep trying. And then you'll be able to get to the point where you can do these thinking sessions. But I want to know what you think about the thinking sessions, and if you think it's something that would be helpful, and if you have any questions about how to pull it off, how to get into that mind state, and how useful it really is, and what kind of things you should be discussing or questions you should be asking yourself in those sessions, go ahead and leave those in the comments below. I'm making these videos because first of all, it helps me stay accountable to myself. That's honestly the biggest thing. And second of all, because I want to share this information with people. I have a lot of people, honestly, a lot of people in my personal life that watch these videos and say they get a lot out of them and they learn a lot and they feel inspired in one way or another. So that's all I'm trying to do, is spread some positivity and teach a little bit about self-discipline and how you can achieve things that I'm trying to achieve. I'm not even there yet, but I'm working on it. So thanks for watching. I will see you in my next video.